Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a while since I sat down face to face with the camera and had a talk with you. And the first time I did, it was just my second video that I made, and I didn't have any subscribers, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I did it anyway, and I needed to do something. I wanted a new project, a new hobby, and man, was it ever a good idea to do that. I've had so much fun. I think this is my 30th video now. Uh, when I started, we were just heading into winter here in northern British Columbia, and I look outside here now, and there's no snow left, and usually there is. Global warming is taking care of that for us, and um, but the snow's all gone, and so I'm going to be heading out to the cabin. I have a cabin out at the lake, and I'll be spending a lot of time out there, and I won't be making as many videos to share with you. I am going to make one more this weekend, and it's going to be a very ambitious one. I'm going to do it on naval warfare for Global 40. I'm going to talk about all of the units and what they do, and a bit about the oceans, the theaters of war that you'll be fighting in, tactics. It's going to be all encompassing, everything you need to know about how to be an admiral in Global 40, because I get a lot of questions on my channel, and I see a lot of people with questions on axisandallies.org. So you know what? I'm gonna grab a rule book, and I'm gonna read it, and because I know what's in there for the most part, but I want to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. So I'm gonna go through the whole rule book. I'm not gonna sit there and read it to you. I'm just going to read it, and I'm gonna say, okay, this is what a transport is, and this is what it does, and all the different things it does, and even the obscure rules, and how the political situations affect, um, how that affects the naval warfare, and just give you my thoughts on what uh, what you should do with your navies for each of the countries. Maybe not all of them. I mean, who gives a shit about Russia, right? Russia doesn't really do much in it. So I'm gonna be doing that. Um, Another reason I wanted to sit down and talk with you is I want to talk about some new YouTubers that are out there. When I started, there wasn't as many as there is now. It seems like after I started, that other people thought, after they saw my video where I sat down and I talked to it, they thought, you know what, I should do that too. I'd really like to. And there's a lot of people out there right now that haven't started a YouTube channel but want to, and they're just nervous or whatever reason. Maybe they don't have the camera to do it. Um, but a lot of people did start their YouTube channels, and they're putting out content, and so I'd like to tell you about three of the latest ones that I know of, and give them a bit of a shout out. First of all, there's the Big E. He's got a few videos out. The videos that he's been making so far are on customizations. He is a painter, and so I don't really know what he's going to do other than the customizations. Maybe that's all it is, and if that's it, then that's fine too, because I love looking at the little painted pieces, that everybody, not everybody, that only a few people do. It's quite the undertaking to paint something that small and to paint that many pieces, for a whole game. It's really quite impressive, and so he's doing that, and he gets his name, the Big E, from that. That's the nickname of the Enterprise aircraft carrier from World War II. That was nicknamed the Big E, and so he, as an homage to that carrier, he's taking the name the Big E, and he's had a channel for a while, but it wasn't really geared towards this so much. I think it was Red Black Monkey or something like that. I was a subscriber before, but I kind of watched it and I thought, well, I'm not really interested in this. It's kind of cool, but anyway, so he's relaunched his channel. He's renamed it the Big E, and he's putting out some good content now. So go check him out. I will leave a link in the description box of this video so that you can see uh, where to find his channel if you haven't already subscribed. Um, the next one is just a new one. The guy just put out his second video yesterday. His first video, I believe, came out last weekend. I was his first subscriber, and what it is, his name is he's going by the name The Factor, and his channel is called Eagle's Nest. Eagle's Nest was Hitler's lair up in the mountains. If you know what I'm talking about, in Bavaria there, or Austria, or whatever, that's where Hitler hung out, um, on the side of the mountain, and so this is the name that he's chosen for his channel. And anyway, the two videos that he's got so far are gameplay. Him and another guy playing, or I think the first game there was more than just two people. But the game he's got going on right now is just him and another guy. But he actually he does a really good job of describing what's going on the board. I enjoy watching his videos so far. Again, I don't know what his plans are for his channel in the future. If he's just gonna show videos like this, which I don't mind. I mean, I like these kind of videos. So, but uh, but he does a good job of describing what's going on, and he seems to know how to play the game. It'd be one thing, you know, you tune it in to watch somebody build a big Russian navy or something. That's it might be entertaining for a minute, but you're not really going to learn anything. And that's really why I like these kind of videos. Is I like to watch what other people are doing, just to get an idea, the kind of things that this is what I would do to stop that, or this is what I would do if he did that, or whatever. So I like those type of videos, and his lighting's pretty good, and his camera works pretty good. So check him out. His name is The Factor, and he's at Eagle's Nest. And again, I will provide a link to his channel. And the third one I want to tell you about is Cyanight. Now, you've all seen my channel, and you've seen the board that I play on, the custom map. Now, that is a map that was made by Grasshopper and Ambilsey. But this particular version was remade and the file put out by a guy named Cyanight, and I found it on accessandallies.org. He was the one that came up with the idea of expanding C-Zone 110 in between the UK and Normandy, so that there's a lot more room in there for your boats, and also expanding Bessarabia and putting the roundels on the neutral countries, and using the Italian fascist roundel. That's why I picked that particular map, was because he did a bunch of maps with different roundels on it, and I picked that one because I like the Italian roundel along with the other roundels that are on there. Anyway, he does a phenomenal job of his customizations. He's got a sticky thread on accessandallies.org. If you don't know what a sticky thread is, like you create a thread, anybody can create a thread, and then people comment on it, and eventually they stop commenting on it, and then it moves down until it gets to the second page and the third page and the fourth page, and eventually it's on the 20th page, and nobody's ever going to read it, right? But a sticky thread is something that is in bold letters, and it stays on the first page. And he's got a sticky thread on accessandallies.org, and it's of his customizations, his painting, and he does magnetizations, and like his boards are magnetized and things like that. Really, really cool job. He just put out his first video a week or two ago. I think I was his second subscriber. He's only got a couple of subscribers right now. His first video was on his research and development rules, and they're quite a bit different than mine, but his are I like mine the best of anybody's that I've seen so far, and I know I'm a little bit biased, but I've played those rules, and I really like the way that they work out. But of all the other ways that people do it, I think I like his the second best. He has a way of prototype. I'm not going to explain it all to you. I'm just going to send you to his channel, because he should describe it for himself. And he's got an elite forces unit that he also introduces in his video. He's doing a game this weekend, he said on his last video, and I think he's going to capture some video of that and put it out. Now, I don't know what he's got planned for his channel, but I tell you, if he puts half as much effort into his channel as he does into his customizations, then he's going to have one of the best channels out there. The guy is really, really talented, and I hope that he puts some effort into this, because I love watching this stuff on YouTube, and I think that he's going to do a wonderful job. He kind of reminds me of of my friend Cyberplat there, you know how good his customizations are and how creative he is. Well, that's what Cyanight is like. So hopefully he enjoys what he's doing here, and he decides to put a whole bunch of effort into it, because that would be awesome. He his customizations are really good. So for all of you out there that are thinking about doing this, or for the new people that are uh, on YouTube already, and you're just getting your feet wet and you've only got a couple of videos out, I just some things that I've learned, I'll just share them with you that I didn't know. The main thing is your lighting, okay, and your camera work. So make sure that your light is bright. You can see that light just over my shoulder here. That's the war room back there, and you can see how bright that light is compared to the rest of my lighting in my house here. Make sure your lighting is really good where you're making your video, because like I've seen videos on the internet of games, and I just can't watch them. You know, you start watching it and you're trying to see it because you really want to know what's going on there. You know, like it looks interesting, but I just give up after a couple minutes. Screw this. I can't see this. And the other thing is your camera work. It doesn't really matter what kind of camera you use. Like this is what I use. I just use my iPhone 6, and I've got a hit case for it. See, there's the iPhone there. And this is hit case. It's by a company from Vancouver. And you can see the lens here. That's a wide angle lens. I've got three different kinds of lenses, but I've only used the wide angle. I mean, I don't really need the one where you get really close, and I don't want to use the super wide angle lens because that gives you that fisheye look, and I don't need to do that either. This one here though, like I've just look, I don't have any video that's not taken with this, but I've taken this off and looked, and you can see so much more with this lens on. So you can find these things online if you have an iPhone. I don't know if they make them for anything other than an iPhone, but anyway, you don't even need that. You can just use your phone. The phones, the cameras in them are really good nowadays, and as long as you got it's not a flip phone from the 1990s or something. As long as you got a newer phone, then the camera in them are pretty good. But what's really important when you're doing your filming is that you're not moving around, like this, and or you're shaking or something. That's really hard to watch. I mean, you've seen videos on the internet as well where people are doing that, and they're hard to watch. And I do that sometimes too, and I catch myself and oh geez, well, what you want to do when you're filming is make sure that you're moving really slowly. You don't have to talk really slow, but it's kind of at first you got to kind of practice it where you're moving the camera slow, but you're talking at normal speed, right? It's kind of like the chewing gum and bubble gum and walking at the same time thing. So like you're filming the Americans in the Pacific, right? And then you want to show what America's going on the other side of the border, which is quite a ways away, right? So when you're doing that, don't just whip right over there, and say, here it is, because everybody, whoa, what happened there? What you want to do is you want to go pan slowly across, and you're talking the whole time as you're going across. But people want to see, they want to get a glimpse of what's going on in the Middle East and what's going on in between Germany and Russia. So, just kind of move your camera around and you'll see what I mean. Like you've seen the way Grasshopper does it, the way he moves slowly with his, and also Detroit from the Garrison. He is like those two guys have been around for a few years now, and you can see how they've gotten their camera work down pretty good. And I'm getting better at mine. Every once in a while I go like this, but really what you want to do instead is you want to go like this, right? And even if you're just turning your camera, you don't want to turn like this. Just turn your camera very slowly and talk at a normal speed and describe what you see. So it's not that hard. Just it's really hard though if you're holding your camera. Like even like if I don't you see the tripod here, I have the advantage that I can just set the tripod down and I can talk for a while, right? And the camera doesn't move at all. And then I can just slightly turn it like this, right? And so the camera hardly moves. It changes direction, but it doesn't move like this. Um, even when I hold it in the air though, it seems to be a little steadier than trying to hold a camera like this. When you're holding it like this, you're kind of moving. Whereas when I'm holding it like this, like sometimes I'll even just set the front two prongs down, you know, and move it over and set them down again. Even though I haven't set the camera down for good, like I could still steady myself a little bit with it by doing excuse me, by doing that. So that's helpful if you get some kind of aids like that or whatever. But even if you just, all you can do is hold your camera, try to hold it as steady as you can. Maybe put your elbow on the table. That will steady your arm a little bit. So the lighting and the motion, those are really big. And General Hand Grenade's got to have his coffee, right? Gonna have to spike my coffee next time. So anyway, lighting, motion. Okay, the other thing is be yourself. Don't try to be like me or try to be like Grasshopper or try to be like Detroit or try to be like whoever else you've seen on there. Just be who you are. We want to see who you are. They don't want to see a copy of somebody else, and I try not to do that. And if I do, it's totally by accident. You get ideas from other people, for sure. I know people get some of their ideas from me. I can see that in their videos, and that's fine. But don't try to do it exactly like me or exactly like somebody else. Just be who you are. Don't worry if your strategy is not the same as my strategy. If you're putting out a strategy video, then that's okay. Just put your strategy video up. Don't worry what people are going to think about it. Like you wouldn't believe all the negative comments that I get. You can go through and you can read them all. That would never work. You know, what kind of an idiot are you? You know, they stop just short of calling me a pervert, but but it's funny though. You know, like take it with a grain of salt and have some fun with it, right? Like just say this is what I do, and then you know what? Like you can also learn that way. That people say, well, you know, that wouldn't work because of this, and oh, you know, so you know, okay, so you take your strategy and you kind of change it a little bit. It's it's another way of learning, right? If you want a lot of people to watch your videos, then make strategy videos. Honestly, like I made all kinds of videos so far, but the strategy videos are the ones that sell the most or that gets the most views. Put it that way. I don't sell anything, right? But yeah, like the Germany video that I have, even though I don't even think it's that good of a strategy, it's got twice as many views as the next highest one, which is the UK video, and it's the UK video, the strategy in that is 10 times better than the Germany strategy. So people love German videos, right? If you want people to watch your videos, then make a German strategy video because that's what people are most interested in. I think that Germany is the most popular nation to play. And so and if anybody they just perk right up, ooh, Germany strategy. So they'll watch that no matter how good or bad it is. So, you know, but do the videos you want. Don't just do what everybody else has done. And you can do your version of what other people have done, but try to think of something else and be yourself. Um, and the other thing is just relax. You know, like you're not doing this. You're not a professional. I'm not a professional. I'm doing this to have fun, and I thought it would be, you know, just something to do. But man, has it ever turned out to be a lot of fun. Like I'm having just a blast doing this, and I've made a lot of friends. Just in the past week alone, I've talked to Grasshopper on the phone in Toronto, Cyanight, not Cyanight, sorry, Sired Blood. See, I'm getting those two mixed up already. Sired Blood, we Skyped, we were making a plan because we're on the same team going to Grasshopper's tournament. I talked to Detroit on the phone the other night. I'm getting to be friends with all these guys, and I talked to don't tell Hunter Jones, but I talked to his dog. I came to his house and I petted his dog in the backyard. Don't tell him though, okay? He's not going to see this video. Anyway, his dog's just the coolest thing, and he's a really good Japanese player. He's an awesome Japanese player. So I'm having a good time, and you should too. Don't do this for any other reason than to have fun. You're not going to make money at it. Like Grasshopper, he's got as many subscribers as the rest of us put together times two. You know, and even he couldn't make money doing this. My sister suggested that I look into making money doing this because that's what she does. She makes money on the internet doing other stuff, right? And so, you know, okay, you know, I'll look. I don't really want to, but I looked, and you know, like if you had 20,000 subscribers, you could make like $20 a month. So you're not going to make a living doing this. You know, like you're not going to get 1 million subscribers or 100,000 subscribers, which is what you would need to make enough money to make it worth your while. So you're not going to be a professional doing this. So you're going to do this for fun, and so have fun. If you're not having fun, then don't do it. And then when you start making videos, you're going to be a little bit nervous. So like I was really nervous the first couple times. That first video that I made, the Special Forces unit in the airfields, I made that video 3 times because the first time I was doing pretty good, I was on a roll, and then I had a brain fart and I just couldn't get out of it. Like I did the longer the pause went, the more awkward it got. And so fuck it, I just stopped the camera and I deleted it and I started over again. And it took me three tries to make that video, and that's why if you watch that video, that's why you see that I. For some goofy ass reason, you're thinking, why didn't he tell us what the cost of this unit is? Like, that's one of the biggest things, tell us how much this unit costs. And I did twice, but then the third time I made the video, you're thinking about it in your mind, like, oh yeah, I told him how much it costed, but that was in the videos that I deleted. So, that's a good lesson too. Like, you have fun with it, and you see what I mean? You have a brain fart, but like, I don't worry about it anymore. I'll just transition into something else. Um, but you're not wasting film. That's what I was going to say. You're not wasting any film. So if you film the video and you watch it and you think, I could do better. Do better then. Just delete it and start over again. Who cares? Like, nobody's going to know you did it one and you had to do it over again. And after a while, you get to the point where you don't even have to do that. Like, it's very rare that I have to start over again anymore, because I just really, why you make mistakes is because you're so uncomfortable to begin with. You're so nervous, and then I just learned after a while that I'm not even talking. It's a little more difficult in this format where I'm talking to the camera. But when normally I'm just talking over top of the board and the camera's not looking at me, so it's easy. I don't even talk to the people that are going to watch the video. I don't even think about that, or hardly think about that. I mean, I know people are going to watch it and stuff, but really, what I'm doing is I'm talking to myself. I guess, I don't know, talking to the board. I'm not talking to the pieces. Like, I'm not picking up the piece and saying, "So, dude, no, that's not what I mean." I just talk about what you're seeing. Talk about what you're thinking about. You're making moves like the gameplay that you see me do. I'm just thinking out loud. Like, I'm making my moves and I'm thinking out loud, and then I pause the camera and stuff, and I make some more moves, and then I'm thinking before I start the camera again, okay, well, I should mention this and I should mention that, and why did I do this and why did I do that? So I just then I turn the camera back on, and I just think out loud, and I don't worry about who's going to watch the video or what they're going to think about it. Like, who gives a shit? When I first made my first video, I didn't have any subscribers. I didn't know if anybody would watch, and now I think this morning I looked, I was at 340 subscribers. I think if you just be yourself, and you have good lighting, and you don't make people sick by moving your camera all over, you put some fairly interesting content on about access knowledge, I think people are going to watch. Um, and so just do that. Just have some fun while you're doing it. Um, yeah. So anyway, I hope that helps you. If you have any questions, you can ask me about it. Technical questions. I mean, that took a little bit to figure out. I mentioned that in the last time, my General Hand Grenade and Coffee video, about trying to figure out memory on my camera and stuff like that. You do need a bit of memory, and one thing I will mention though, like, when you're using this hit case, they should have put it like this, like your phone. And I don't know if it's just iPhone that does that or what, but the first video I uploaded was upside down. So apparently the camera should have been on, but I can't do it on the other side because this thing here that holds it onto the stand, it has to go this way, right? But anyway, so then I learned that I should put it in iMovie first. iMovie is an application if you have an Apple computer, and that automatically turned it around. And then, like, it'll take you forever to upload a video if you just try to upload it like that. So what you need to do is compress it. Um, and that will it'll take a fraction of the time if you compress it. So you need an application. I think the one I'm using is called Handbrake. So you just take your video and you put it in there and it converts it. It just takes a couple of minutes, and then it's a lot quicker when you upload it. So I think it's an MP4 is what it converts it to. It's kind of like converting a song into an MP3, like from a full file, compressing it into an MP3, except for that's the video version of it. So that's a little bit of the technical stuff that'll help you out. And so what else is going on? Okay, this weekend I told you I'm gonna be filming a video, and it's gonna be really extensive. Like I'm really, it could be a long one. I don't know. I haven't started it yet, so I was gonna start it yesterday, but then my son and I we went to this new place in town. It's a brew pub, and they bring you these little trays with four beers in them, four different kinds of beers. So we got a couple of those, and we got a pizza, and some bunch of other crap. We had too much fun. So I came back home and I didn't feel like making a video after that. That was yesterday. That was Good Friday, the holiday. So today's Saturday, and I'll start on it today. And I don't know how long it'll take me. It could take me like that's the other thing is don't worry about how long it's taking you to make videos. I don't care if I get done today or tomorrow or next week. It'll get done, right? But the point it's better to just make sure that you get it done properly or to your satisfaction. I mean, it doesn't have to be professional. Like I said, none of us are professionals. We're just guys having fun on the internet, playing with little army man. So anyway, this weekend that's what I'm doing. Also, this weekend there's some games going on. The Detroit from the Garrison. I've sent you to his channel before. If you haven't subscribed already, you should. He's a great guy, awesome guy. I think he uploaded 4 videos yesterday. Him and 3 other guys playing. He's got a really nice tail, and he's got Cyanite's new map. Even though he told you that it was Sireblood that made the map, it wasn't. It was Cyanite. That's his. Anyway, so he put some video up of the game that he played yesterday. You can go see that on his channel, The Garrison. Grasshopper, he's playing Gargantua. Gargantua's from Vancouver. He's on accessanallies.org. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him. We've exchanged a few messages on private messages, but I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him. Someday, if I make it down to Vancouver, or if he makes it up to Prince George, and we'll get together for a game, that would be fun. But Grasshopper's met him before. They've played before, and he's going to be in Toronto this weekend. So they're going to get together for a game, and I think Grasshopper's going to film it too. So watch out for that. I don't think it's today though. I think it's tomorrow. I think it's after church tomorrow that they're going to play. Um, and Cyanight, he is playing a game this weekend as well. And I think that his plan was to put video of that game on. And I don't know what style he's going to use, whether he's going to keep putting out videos as he's playing, or I don't think I'm ever going to do that. I think it'd be better just to film like 3-4 minutes, like I do when I'm showing you a game that I'm playing by myself, to show you the kind of strategy that I'm doing or the rules that I'm using. I think I'm just going to do it like that, and then put it and splice it all together and make a big video at the end, rather, because I want to play the game and I want to enjoy the game, and I don't want people to be waiting for me, and I don't want to be distracted, so I'm just going to film it, and then I'm going to put my camera down, and I'm going to play, and then okay, this turns over, so I'll film a little bit, try not to bother anybody while they're playing. That's the way I think I'm going to do it, and I don't know how Cyanite's going to do it, but anyway, he's playing, and also the Factor from the Eagle's Nest. He's only played the first round of his game, and I'm not sure. I think he's going to be playing the game this weekend as well. I think that's what he said. I watched a lot of video yesterday, so things are kind of running together for me. Uh, anyway, so he's going to be continuing his game, I think, this weekend. Either if it's not this weekend, then it'll be the next weekend. And like I said, he does a really good job of describing what's going on the board, and his lighting's pretty good. So that's going to be good. And that's all I wanted to say, except for my last thing, and that's to thank all of you. I mentioned earlier, I didn't know if anybody was ever going to watch, like I knew my mom was going to watch. She likes watching my videos. But I didn't know about anybody else. I didn't know if I was going to do any good at it or anything. And that really wasn't the point of why I started doing it to begin with. I did it because I'm passionate about this game, and it's just something I wanted to do. I really like Grasshopper's videos, and I thought, I could try something like that, see how it works out. Anyway, it's worked out much better than I ever thought. I didn't think I was going to get 30 plus videos done over the course of this winter. Honestly, I thought I'd get like 5 or 6 videos done. And from that first video, when I told you what I was going to do, I never did get to 1914. I just, once I got into 1940, that game, I love that game so much. I just didn't bother. I haven't even played a game in 1914 all winter, even though I was playing a bunch before that. So eventually I might get to that, but I don't know. Um, But anyway, I want to thank you all for subscribing and for all your positive comments and your encouragement and your friendship. That's been a lot of fun making friends, and yeah, this has gone so much better than I thought it was ever going to. So thank you all for making this such a positive experience for me. Um, I'm so grateful to all of you, and I hope to make more videos in the future. But like I said, it's going to slow down a bit. I hope to make a lot of video when I'm in Oshawa and Toronto. When I go there for Grasshoppers tournament, we're going to be called the Bunker Busters. Me and my teammates from LA, Sire Blood and Widowmaker. So if that doesn't make you shake in your boots, then you, we're coming to get you. We're coming to get you. Anyway, we're gonna have fun. I don't care what happens. I don't care who wins, as long as we have fun, and just as much fun as I'm having now, making these videos for you guys. I don't even make them for you, to be honest with you. Honest to God, I don't make them for you. I make them for me. I'm having fun doing this, and I'm glad that you watch them, and I'm glad that you like them, and that's just awesome. So anyway, um, thanks for sitting down. Thanks for letting me bend your ear today. I'll get to that video now after I finish my coffee here. So take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.